Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and I'm going to be taking a look at another game that is currently on sale during the Steam Summer Sale, and that game is BeamNG.drive. Now, one thing I would like to point out is the purpose of this series is not as a recommendation of games that you should be buying, but these are games that I, for one reason or another, think are interesting, and I picked them up while they were on sale, and this is more an evaluation of sorts than it is a recommendation. Some of the games that I'm picking I hope are good, but I have no real experience with them, so this is really a first impression series. Now, some games more than others, for example, BeamNG.drive, I have put some time into to kind of learn. And I'm going to showcase what this game's all about. So this is a driving simulator with a focus on the crash physics in particular. So this game has been built a lot around its physics engine. Now, it is still in early access, and as a result, I was talking about recommendations. I don't know how easily recommended this game is, because although it has been in development for quite some time and in early access for quite some time, it does seem like it's still quite a ways away from being finished. So just keep that in mind. And it could be quite some time before it is done. So let's take a look at what the game is like at its current state. So first I'm going to jump into the free roam mode. So I have a number of modes here. Currently we have campaign scenarios, free roam, quick play, which I haven't really played around with yet, so I'm not exactly sure what that's about, and career, which it says coming soon, so that's obviously not available. Now, free roam is pretty self-explanatory. This is where you can just hop in and mess around, and I'm just mostly going to showcase some of the things here. Now, there's some elements of the game that I don't necessarily understand. I'm going to select the grid map, and we'll go with the default here. So select that. I'm using my mouse just because I find that a little bit easier to do. But for the actual driving, I'm going to be using an Xbox One controller. Now, I haven't tried out to see if a steering wheel works with this game. Really, I just had an Xbox One controller plugged in. I noticed that the game was supporting it, so I just went ahead and tried it out. I personally would recommend a controller over the keyboard controls, just because driving games in general, I think, benefit from peripherals other than a keyboard and mouse. Now, I think there's a way to slow down time in the game, but I haven't really been able to find in the options where that is. I could mess around with things and just make assumptions on what those controls would be. But yeah, I don't really know what those controls are, so unfortunately I can't showcase in slow motion what the crash physics look like. But just to go over kind of basics of the game. So you do have a couple different drive modes, and right now I'm under what's called the realistic gearbox. You can turn that arcade, and what that does is the game's going to do all the shifting for you, and if you hit brakes and hold it in for a while, it will eventually go into reverse. So that's kind of your typical arcade style controls, if that's the kind of thing you're familiar with. I usually play with realistic, though, where you're going to need to do your own shifting. Now, this is an automatic, so really all you're doing is shifting into drive. So if I hit shift up, I'm now in drive, and I can drive around. Now, if I hit brakes and I hold them in, it's not going to reverse. To reverse, I have to shift into reverse, and then I use the accelerate button, not the brake button, to do that. So it's a little bit more fine control. Now, if you're driving a car that has a manual transmission, then you're actually shifting through the gears as well. So you have that going for you. Now, if you're using the arcade mode, even with the manual transmission car, it's going to do all the shifting for you. Now, I do have a number of assists for the gearbox, so it's going to do all of the rev matching. I don't have to use the clutch pedal. There is a clutch pedal button. I don't have to use that. I don't really have to worry about the car stalling if I am not pressing the accelerator. I mean, this is not really a big thing with an automatic, but in a manual transmission car, if I'm in first gear and I come to a stop, it's not going to stall the car out. So I can show you where some of those options are real quick here. So if you come into the options menu here, you go under settings. Actually, no, it's under controls. No, it is under settings. I apologize. Under gameplay, yes. So you have clutch assistant, you have throttle assistant. So these are some things that are going to help you with shifting, and then there's your realistic and this is, I set this to default. Normally speaking, your arcade's gonna be set to default, and you can change it when you're in game by pressing the Q key, but for now, you know, these are some things that you can do as far as some assists. So if you want to play it more realistically, you can turn all this stuff off, and then, you know, you have to take that stuff into account, or you can have a little bit of assist like I've done, just to not have as much to think about or what have you. All right. With that being said, as I said, there is controls here. I haven't been able to figure out what slow motion is. I'm fairly certain there is a slow motion in the game, but unfortunately, it's not under the camera. It's not under gameplay. At least I haven't seen it here. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's under... Nah. So I think there is a slow motion mode, but I don't recall, or I don't know what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the crash physics. That's what we're all here for. So... let's go slam ourselves into a wall. And see what this looks like. Boom. So as you can see, some pretty realistic modeled crash physics. Now, you're going to have vehicle damage done as well. As you see there over in the exclamation point, it said radiator damage. So some things in my car are not going to work so well. It looks like I can still drive, though. Sometimes that's not the case. Now, I'm not steering right now, so obviously there's some problems. First off, one of my wheels I don't think is even contacting the ground up front, which is probably part of the problem because my frame got all bent up. You get a little bit of an idea. In free roam mode, I can always load myself back in and continue to move around. Whenever you load yourself in, though, you're going to load into neutral if you're playing with the realistic mode. And while we're in free roam, we can also play around with the different cars. So I have a vehicle option here, and this is going to load in all the cars. So these are all the cars that are currently in the game. You also have some props in here that you can load, including a cannon for some reason. But these are all the cars that are currently in the game. You even have a little, what is that? A Reliant Robin from Top Gear that you can choose, and it even has an homage to Top Gear with the little stabilizers that you can select. So if you want to have a little bit of fun with the a three-wheeler vehicle like this and see how easily you can get it to flip over and things, you can mess around with that. When you take a look at the vehicles, it's going to give you an idea of some performance stats and everything. So this is not a particularly powerful vehicle. There is a more powerful variant, though. For example, this one has quite a bit more horsepower, and it loses a little bit out in torque. And every vehicle is going to have variants like that. So if we go back and we take a look at, for instance, this car up here, you're going to have a number of variants. So you're going to have an inline-6 engine with a manual transmission. You're going to have, and that's going to be your base model. So they're going to give you a little bit of a description. So this is equipped with a 232 cubic inch inline-6, and then it has a manual transmission, rear-wheel drive, and moving on, you've got a V8 with an automatic, you've got a V8 with a manual transmission, and so on. You've got all these different variants that you can play around with, and that's a lot of what the free roam mode is all about. But let's go ahead and jump into this little three-wheeler and have a little bit of fun with it. So we just load it in, and this is a manual transmission. So now when I shift up, I'm shifting into first gear. When I shift up again, and now I'm in second, and depending on the vehicle, you're going to have a number of different gears. So we can also see, how does this thing handle bumps? I'm going to assume not too well, especially at speed. Oh, and we already flipped it over. And there goes its mirror. All right, well, that wasn't too bad. So we're going to need to shift back down into first gear. And as you can see there, I didn't stall out by staying into second gear there. So let's just do a little bit of a hard turn here. See if we can flip it. Oh, we flipped it a little bit, but I think it's going to pop back. There we go. So you get a little bit of an idea of some of the stuff that you can do. And this particular map that I have is meant to be something where you can mess around with the different physics. You can go up ramps, you can do little loop-to-loops and all kinds of stuff if you want to just mess around with the game and the physics. So I'm going to go up this ramp. Oh, didn't do so well there. All right, well, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump into what I'm really going to focus on for the scope of this video, and that is one of the campaigns that I have yet to play. So we'll hop in here. So you have campaigns and scenarios. Scenarios are going to be one-off events that you have to do. So you've got some Demolition Derby. This is actually multiplayer local co-op from what I've seen. So one player gets your whatever controller you have plugged in, another player gets your keyboard, and you can do that up to 4 players, and then you just do a little Demolition Derby, smash each other up kind of thing. Or you can do car chases. So, you know, this one here, East Coast Chase, you play a cop and you chase down a robber and you try and run them off the road, stop them by any means necessary. And then you just have various events that you have to do. And they go in different difficulties. So I think this is already sorted by difficulty. So we start off with the easier ones, and then you're going to go down all the way to really difficult things, or you have to go on a sky curve or what have you. So those are the scenarios. The campaigns work very similarly to the scenarios. It's just a group of scenarios. So the one that I completed was the driver's training. Driver's training is just going to go over a lot of the basics of the driving mechanics. I don't know how big of a fan I am of the driving mechanics themselves. I feel like they're a little not so user-friendly. As much as I do have some assists on, it's very easy to get a lot of wheel spin in some of the more powerful vehicles, and that can be hard to control. It's very easy in some of the vehicles to lose control in turns and things. So if you're playing this for arcade-style driving, this is maybe not the game for you, because I don't necessarily feel like with some of the lower power vehicles, yeah, it's not so bad, but when you get into the really powerful muscle cars, you're going to have a hard time controlling it, in my opinion, unless you're really careful with the throttle and with your steering. But in any case, let's go on to the campaign Senseless Destruction. There's also a third campaign called A Rocky Start, which I think they just recently added into the game. As a matter of fact, we can see when these were added in. Oh, it's saying that it was added in December, but I don't think that's necessarily true. I thought this was added more recently. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. So you can see these events and when they were added. Okay, I guess technically it was done more recently than February 11th of 2016. But in any case, we're going to do Senseless Destruction and have some fun here. So as I said, the campaigns, they play out just there, a number of scenarios stacked on top of each other. So if you have an idea of how the scenarios play, it's going to be like just one of the events that we're going to do in the campaign. Usually the scenarios might be a little bit more involved than what we're going to see in this campaign. But all things considered, I don't think it takes that much time to get through the campaigns. The training mission or the driving tutorial, that didn't take all that much time to go through. Now, you can repeat any of the particular missions or scenarios in the campaign if you choose. Now, there is no music in the game, so right now the game's pretty silent, and that's because there's really nothing to hear right now. And that kind of shows you how unfinished the game may be. All right, so it looks like we have to destroy this vehicle, jump off, and it looks like the lower altitude we get, the more bonus points we get. So this is all point derived. So we get 300 points for destroying the vehicle, and then up to 700 bonus points if we go all the way down. All right, so we can jump off anywhere. And I think over here is a decent spot. So we'll just jump off right there. Ooh, you know what? I think I may have hit the ledge below, but that might give us some good damage if we hit and bounce off. There we go. That should be some good damage, I hope. Ooh, another good hit there. Now, this is a cinematic mode. I have no control over the camera right now, so this is built into the particular scenario. All right, looks like we made it pretty low down. Maybe we can just skid a little bit more. All right. We did pretty good on damage. Hey, there we go. We got a first place medal, so that's not too bad. Let's go on to the next one. So at this point, you could retry if you wanted to. You can just exit if you want, or you can go on to the next one. Now, as far as I can tell, you don't have an option to skip over any particular scenarios in a campaign. Hopefully that's something that they do. So the reason I say that is once you play through the campaign, maybe you like a particular scenario more than the others, and you don't want to have to play through all of these in succession. That might be nice, or at least strip out. Okay, it looks like we have a drag race, and it looks like we're at quite a disadvantage here, as that guy is definitely a drag racer. All right, let's go ahead and start here. because I'm under realistic mode, I'm going to have to remember to shift into gear here. Yeah, off he goes. So he has quite an advantage on us. Ooh, but he's on fire now. What's going on there? So I may have to worry about what's going to happen here. Is he going to blow up or something? Oh, so far. Oh, there he goes. Whoa. All right, we managed to avoid the collision. I don't know if that was what we were supposed to do, because this is about destruction after all. It looks like I'm going to slam into this wall, that's for sure. Boom. All right, we got a bit of destruction there. All right, we did pretty good then. Okay, first place. I'll take that. I don't know if... I guess if we would have hit that guy, we might not have made it across the line, so we wouldn't have finished, or... Maybe it would have taken stuff off for us for taking damage. I don't know. I mean, this seems like... Ooh. So we have to get across this bridge, huh? Okay. Reach the far side. Okay, good, better, best. So... I guess the further we make it, the more points we're going to get. All right. So we're going to have to probably be a little bit cautious here. Yeah, I'm just gonna... As we get to the middle of the bridge, that's probably gonna be the most sway. Looks like we do have a time limit, so... I think I mean, we're already halfway across. Now, I'm being very gentle here. Ooh, we're getting a little bit of sway going. I gotta be careful. We still got 20 seconds, so... Whoa, camera! 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 Okay, and the bridge just broke. The camera kind of failed me there, and that is something that I've noticed is a problem when you're in... third person like this. Sometimes the camera misbehaves. I didn't expect the bridge to go out, though. That's kind of funny. So, I think we could have made that, but the camera at the last second there kind of glitched out on me, and then I don't know what happened to the bridge. But hey, we did pretty good. I think we could have made it across. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try and get it across, because I think I can do it. It seemed like I had plenty of time left over. But the camera freaked out and I couldn't see what was going on. And... yeah, we can skip the cutscene, fortunately. So just nice and gentle. Okay, I see the bridge is kind of... Ooh, no, this is looking bad. This is looking bad, real bad. What happened? Did the bridge give out again? I think the game just broke on me, because... Alright, well, apparently we're having some problems with this particular scenario. I don't think it's behaving, because I don't know why it went into the cinematic there, and then I don't have a good angle of what I'm looking at, so... I'll try it one more time, but if it glitches out on me again, I'm just gonna take whatever we get. Because it doesn't seem like you have to get that far to really... quote-unquote succeed. It just, you know, you get X number of points the further you can make it. I think you can do this, though. Let's see if we can. Maybe I was going a little too slow. Ooh, we got Bob going. It's possible the bridge just glitched out, though. And there it goes with the camera again. That time I was able to correct it, though. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna make it now. Ooh, no, I don't, no, I think I got it. There we go. There we go. So it's doable. It just, the camera kept, screwing me a little bit there, but we made it. Now, it doesn't do that glitch, though, when you're in the, I can't think of the word, inside the, you know, you've got your dash cam. I want to say cockpit, but I know that's not the right word. All right, so we have to destroy our own vehicle, destroy another vehicle, and then go down a hill. So this is similar, except we have another vehicle to hit, huh? All right. Ooh, we got a manual transmission car this time. I'm just gonna go ahead and just full-on T-bone him here. Now that might slow me down though, so we'll have to see if we get enough destruction going. Might have been a better idea to clip them on one side or another to get more velocity on my vehicle, but we'll have to just see. Okay, we slammed on a bit that we've already damaged. Hopefully we can, there we go, smash the top. Now, I'm pretty sure we destroyed the red car. Now, whether or not we count it as destroying our own car, I'm not exactly sure. I don't know what counts as destruction. I mean, it looks bad. It doesn't look good by any means. And we made it down into the... okay. It's not a lot of points. So we did it, but we didn't score that much. So obviously we didn't count as destroying because it said destroy 500 plus 500. So, I mean, if we had destroyed both vehicles, it would have given us 1,000. But I don't know how much more damage I could have done to that red vehicle. So I'm just going to go on with this one. Getting a little bit of a weird loading screen glitch. There we go. Okay, suspension. All right, so pass, jump, land, pass, jump, hit this. Okay, so we've got a lot going on here. Okay, looks like we've got an automatic again. It's gonna give me this weird camera angle. Okay, that might have been too much of a jump. We might do too much damage to our vehicle. I have to be careful of that. And I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of the camera they're giving me. Alright, I'm gunning it now, because we have to hit the brick or cement. I may have broken my drivetrain there. So we got a good score for time, but we didn't do very good damage. Let's retry that. I think what happened is I smacked the ground and damaged my drivetrain because I was hitting the gas and I wasn't really going fast. So I have a feeling that we damaged the drivetrain on that first jump. So let's retry that. I'm not a fan of the camera angle they've given me, so I really wish it wasn't. Okay. So we're going to be a little bit carefuler here on this first jump. And I totally wasn't, but I don't think I did any damage to myself, so that's good. Okay, now we can gun it. And boom! So I don't know if we scored any better, but we at least made it to the finish line. There we go. Perfect. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Ah, here comes the cannon. Okay, so we use that to angle the cannon. A button to fire. Okay, so we have to aim our cannon. Okay, I don't know how successful I'm going to be with aiming. We'll have to see what kind of camera angle they give me. All right. Looks like we need to go a little bit to the... Oh, this is counted as like a vehicle? Alright, fire. Alright, I didn't really have to adjust the aim at all. But now I see why there's a cannon in the game. You know what, let's do that one again. I didn't hit him quite solidly, so it looks like we need to bring the aim slightly higher. Because it hit the ground and then skipped up, right? Okay, there we go. A little bit more solid into the vehicle. I don't know if it's going to give me much more damage. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Alright, let's go on to the next one. Okay, we have to crawl. Okay, so we mostly just have to stay within the lines. I hope it doesn't give me a stupid camera angle again. Yeah, it does. Let me see if I can modify it. No, it doesn't let me. Okay. I hate this perspective. That's why I wanted to change it. I don't know if I'm going to make it in time now. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and redo this one. I really wish they wouldn't do this with the camera angles. Because it's very hard to stay within these lines if I can't see what I'm doing here. Yeah, I'm going to restart that one already. This one's tough mostly just because of the angles that they're giving you. So you gotta like think ahead. I mean, if they gave me a normal view, I'd be just fine, but like I can't see where I am right now. Like how am I supposed to continue with my momentum if I can't see where I am? So I'm just sticking, oh. Just sticking with first gear here. Oh, come on. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna make it in much time here, but we made it. Oh no, not yet. Only 7 seconds, 5 seconds. There we go. We made it. That was mostly a problem with the camera angle. If they'd give me a normal camera angle, I would have made that easily. But hey, here we go. Path advance, and time was not great, but I'll take it. I don't want to have to do that again. So I would say those are my main complaints of those couple ones where they give you these weird camera angles. All right, downhill. All right, so am I supposed to hit that rock? So I just have to make it down the slope, and the further I get, the better. I don't know if that was that a penalty, 20 seconds, or I get 20 seconds added on. I'm not sure. We'll hit it, and we'll see. Okay, I hit it. I don't think it gave me time. And I deflated some of my tires. All right. I mean, I guess maybe that's just telling me the actual time limit. Alright, this is the first time I'm driving a truck, so I have to be ready to change gears frequently here. Okay, and now it's taken my view away, so... I guess what happens, happens now. This one's kind of weird. I don't know. Alright, we'll see. I guess I was supposed to do more damage to myself. Oh well. Take it on. Take the next one. So those last couple ones, I don't know how I felt about them. Okay. Jump. Oh, okay, this is pretty straightforward. Oh, we have to land on that guy, though, huh? Okay, so this might take a couple tries to know what kind of speed I need. I'm gonna start with just a good amount of speed, as much as I can get. And we'll see where we land. Okay, so far, too far. Now, I don't know exactly how far, but pretty clearly too far. So, as fast as I can go, not a good idea. Let's retry that one. I'll go for, let's say, 50. Maybe even 40. With how close that thing is. I think I was going 60 when I went on the ramp. So I'll try a slower speed, let's say about 40. Except I didn't maintain that speed once I went up the ramp. Ah! Alright. Let's retry it again. As a matter of fact, I'll just hit the retry button. Alright, so I gotta maintain 40. Maybe I go as fast as I can, and then I take off the... Ah, I didn't hit the ramp straight, though. All right, this one's hard. That's for sure. All right, let's just hit the retry button again. Okay, it looks like 50 might be the right speed. So I'm gonna go as fast as I can. That might do it right there. Boom, got him. All right, good. I mean, at least we hit the target. I don't think we did that much damage, but we hit the target. That's what I was going for. All right, accuracy very high. I'll take that. It's not my fault we didn't do that much damage. Okay, wall jump. All right, we got to destroy this vehicle, stick to the path, and hit that. Okay, so I think speed's probably going to be good here because it looks like we need a good distance after the hit too. So, okay, looks like we've got a manual transmission. Now, this might not be the best vehicle to drive off-road, so we'll have to see. But I think that might do it. Yeah, I kind of skipped over it, but that might actually get us better distance. Yeah, that's pretty good distance. Yeah, distance we did really well. Damage is not too bad. All right, I'll take that. I think it wanted me to more solidly hit the wall, but kind of skipping over top it like that is how we get. Okay, so we've got a drag racer here. Get past this. And then the more distance. All right, that's seems easy enough. This is the first time I've used anything with this kind of power, though. Oh, there's actually... Is that a ramp there? Let's see if we can hit it. Ooh, okay, that's easy enough. I think I deflated one of my tires, and... we definitely damaged the crap out of our vehicle, as there goes... the front half. There we go. And I get the feeling, yeah, that's the last one because I just got an achievement. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there we go. So there, we get a summary of the scoring that we accomplished. So not exactly sure how we move the scroll bar. I'm hitting the different things. I guess I could do it with my mouse. So we can go through, see how well we did. So did pretty good here. Some of them not so well. I don't know how it's sorting them. Is it sorting them by the... Did we start with the bridge? No, the bridge wasn't the first thing we did. That was the, like... Yeah, so I don't know how it's sorting them, but... And it's kind of a pain in the ass to, to manipulate this. But there we go. So... I hope that gives you guys a good idea of what the state of the game is like, what you can expect from BeamNG. Now, as far as the game itself and my opinions of it, I think it's pretty interesting. It is definitely a good tech demo of their physics engine, but is it a game? I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, it's a sandbox game at its best. We'll have to see when this career mode comes about, if it ever does come about. I still feel like there needs to be more depth to the game, not just music, which is obviously lacking, but things like better driving model, just so that you can have different skill levels get involved in this game. I feel like just some of the driving might be... I mean, if somebody that's coming in here and all they're wanting is cars smashing each other, they're not looking for something that's going to be really hard to handle. So I would hope that they do some more... Now, I like the fact that it can be harder to handle for people that are looking for more sim. I don't think this is a hardcore sim by any means, but I like that it does have some sim flavor to it, for sure, but I think that there should also be more of an arcadey side to things outside of just the gearbox for those people that are really just here for the destruction. In any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.